All right, it's time for a little chat. So, I made a video about jumpers months and months ago, and recently, for some reason, I've been getting a lot of comments on it. Too many for me to respond to, and you guys, if you know me, you know that I'm passionate about this topic, so I felt inclined to make a follow-up video. This is the second part to this person's comment. They said they have a 2-month-old who is standing, and that I need to recognize that children are more advanced nowadays and that there's nothing wrong with jumping. So there's a few things I want to address here. First of all, there is something called the stepping reflex, and it typically disappears around 2 months of age. So this is what I suspect is happening with your 2-month-old. So you put them in standing, and they seem to put weight through their legs, and they can take steps. But this is purely reflexive, and then it disappears around 2 months, like I said. Second of all, the fact of the matter is, when we look at anatomy, babies' hips are not developed enough to accept the pressure of even standing until 6 to 7 months old, meaning the ball of the hip is not congruent in the socket to properly accept the weight of standing until that time. Second of all, jumping is not an appropriate activity until 2 to 3 years old. So, why do I have a problem with jumpers? Like I said, the hips are not congruent until around 6 to 7 months. So when I see a 4-month-old in a jumper, I literally cringe. I cringe because that is so dangerous and it makes me scared. Second of all, jumping. Like I said, 2 to 3 years old. By the time they are that old, they're too big for the jumper. So this is a marketing scheme. They know that babies will have fun in these. Come on, of course they would. Parents are going to buy them because it keeps the baby entertained. But there are plenty of other options that are safer and developmentally appropriate depending what age they are. Swings, bouncers, activity centers with a foot plate when they're ready to accept the weight of standing around 6 to 7 months old. If you need more ideas, please let me know. I do have a playlist of safe, appropriate containers. That's just what I know as a pediatric physical therapist, as a mom, what I know about anatomy, human development, all of the above. I'm very passionate about this. Please say no to jumpers. Please just do your research.